As the Russia-Ukraine war intensifies, Russian armed forces have become a subject of mockery by several Western experts due to the poor military tactics adopted by Moscow against a much feeble Ukraine. The latest example of Russia's poor tactics appeared recently when the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense released a video on March 11, showcasing a column of Russian tanks being ambushed about 35 kilometers from Kiev and were forced to retreat. It appears that President Putin has had enough of the mocking, with images and videos of Russian tanks, air defenses, artillery columns and convoys being destroyed by drones and artillery fire by the Ukrainian forces. It appears that Putin may have finally decided to turn these tactics against the Ukrainian forces and give them a taste of their own medicine. The Russian Ministry of Defense has released a video on March 12, likely taken by an All-in-10 UAV, showing Krasnopol laser-guided artillery strikes in Kiev Oblast. All-in-10 is a medium-range, multi-purpose unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, developed by the Russian firm Special Technology Center LLC in St. Petersburg. While this is not the first time All-in-10 has been used by the Russian armed forces in Ukraine, the latest images from Ukrainian sources also show the remains of what appears to be a Russian-made kamikaze suicide drone that fell over the Ukrainian capital. Ukrainian sources have claimed that this drone contained a kilogram of explosives, plastids, with metal balls and fell over the roof of a building in Podil neighborhood in Kiev and set the roof on fire. The accompanying photos also show clouds of smoke emerging out of a roof on a building. In #Kiev on Podil, the building of Oschadbank is on fire. There are no victims or injured. The fire was caused by a fallen drone kamikaze cube. The drone featured in the images looks like a KYB kamikaze UAV, which is developed by Zala Aero Group, a Russian company that specializes in the manufacture of unmanned aerial vehicles. It is the subsidiary of Kalashnikov Group, famous for developing the world's most iconic weapon, the AK-47 assault rifle. If true, this could be the first documented instance of Russian forces deploying loitering munitions to Ukraine. The Cub UAV is intended to be affordable, simple, and easy to operate that can be used for reconnaissance and attack purposes. As per the company claims, it has an endurance of 30 minutes, speeds of 80 to 130 km per hour, 48 to 78 miles per hour, and can it carry a payload of 3 kilograms, 6.6 pound. The drone has been used by Russian forces in Syria for striking terrorist targets in Idlib, northern Syria, according to reports by Russian state-owned news agencies Novosti and Russia Today. Responding to reports, Colonel Mustafa Bakar, the official spokesman for the Jaish al-Islam, a rebel group in Idlib, told the New Arab that the Russian forces had tested kamikaze drones in Himar, Syria as early as 2016, which he claimed targeted hospitals and rebel mountain bases. The KYB drone was first exhibited at the International Defense Exhibition IDEX 2019 in Abu Dhabi, UAE. In late January, Kalashnikov Group announced that it will commence exports of the Cub loitering munition in cooperation with Rosaboronexport. These mini drones can be equipped with cameras and can loiter in the air while relaying enemy positions to the troops on the ground. When the commanders see an appropriate target to hit, they can move the drone to dive onto the target and detonate the warhead on it. The warheads of loitering munitions are small, having explosive power like a grenade or less, which may not be used against hard targets like armored vehicles or tanks, but they can hit the enemy on the other side of a hill shielded from observation or fire by terrain, like mortars in defilated positions, or fly into windows to take out enemy positions during urban combat. Also, there is another way of fielding loitering munitions, and that is, as a countermeasure to sophisticated enemy UAVs like the Turkish-made TB2 Bayraktar. The Russians are developing the Cub to use it as an aerial minefield and have proposed that against Bayraktar TB2s, as low and slow-flying UAVs, they could launch a dozen Cub drones given their swarm capabilities to first identify a Bayraktar and then attack it. Samuel Bendet, an advisor with the strategy, policy, plans and programs the US-based Center for a New American Security, told Shepherd Media on February 11. In 2020, Russian-backed forces in Libya, Syria and the Nagorno-Karabakh region suffered heavy losses due to strikes performed by TB2 Bayraktar drones and Israeli loitering munitions. These battlefield outcomes were probably eye-openers for the Russian military planners. Zala Aero has also been developing a more advanced successor of the KYB UAV, known as the Lancet, which has three variants: Lancet 1, 2 and 3. Lancet has also been reportedly tested on the Syrian battlefield.